What's up, Jabroni? Steven here, and welcome back to yet another reaction. Today, we're hopping into The Office, episode number 15 of season 2, called Boys and Girls. Um, it seems like all the girls are going to be doing something, and I saw Michael's name pop up. I didn't read what it said, but Michael's going to do something because, it's Michael. Hopefully, you guys have been enjoying the series. If you have, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Been having issues on YouTube with copyright stuff. So over on Patreon, you could get the full uncut and edited reaction. Don't have to worry about all the YouTube BS. But if you do watch it on YouTube, just know that I would recommend hitting the notification bell so you can know when the show's about to premiere, and you could watch it when it premieres and guaranteed get the reaction. Because if not, it gets blocked almost always. But nonetheless, hopefully this episode's really good. Hopefully it's funny. Hopefully it's fun. If you don't like my laugh, do not recommend watching this episode. But yeah, we're gonna get started. Hopefully have a good time with it. Pretty much here we. Well, there you have it. That was episode number 15, Boys and Girls. It was an okay episode. This episode was more about the cringe and about the fact that Michael is he's something. It's almost like I feel like Michael is just mentally not there. He does things and he speaks in a way that you're just like, nobody would legitimately talk or feel that way, right? Right? I don't know. I give the episode like a 7. It was a lot of me laughing and chuckling at like the cringiness of it all, but nothing that was like super crazy funny or anything like that. And also, I did love the gym stuff. The Jim and Pam stuff was really, really good. The Roy stuff that was added in there. Pam dealing with the Roy stuff and kind of how he crushes her dreams and what her actual dream is. I thought all that worked really, really well. Let's break down the episode here as best we can. First, we start off, we're having a seminar or a conference or whatever you want to call this with the women. And of course, Michael, cringy, walks in, starts talking about random equality and rooms being changed for female, like, Michael stuff. Very, very weird Michael stuff. Jan is very upset about that. Her name is Jan, right? I hope I'm getting her name right. She's telling Michael to shut up, get out. Everybody, like, it constantly goes to the other girls, and they're kind of like Pam is like holding in her laugh, her awkwardness, all this random shit, right? Also, it said that BJ Novak, so that actor there wrote it. Then Michael, of course Michael, creates his own little group of all the guys right outside the office. And it's not like hers, which is more quiet and kind of put together. It's loud, obnoxious clapping. Like, what is Michael doing? Like what is Michael's mental problem in certain situations? Nonetheless, somebody points out we can go to the warehouse. We go to the warehouse because Michael says, you know what? Men are gonna be down here and we're gonna learn stuff. Oh yeah, and then this is an awesome scene where Dwight looks into the camera and he said, what does he say here? He says, remember in Lost when they met the others? So these are the others. We're down here, we're speaking about men, and Kevin has an awkward moment with Jim about, hey man, Roy, I think Roy knows about you having a crush on Pam, and if shit goes down, I got you. So that's something. Let's see. We then get the separation awkwardness about blue collar or white collar, all this stuff. Pam seeing how the other women are talking to themselves, and she can't really relate to them. She's like, all of these people just have very different goals and demeanors for the way that things are, and Pam isn't about that life, or at least she doesn't think so. We have them. Roy comes up. Roy's like, hey man, I heard you have a crush on her a long time ago, and now she's taken. You're a good dude. I appreciate it because you get all this from her. I don't got to deal with it when I go home. So we're good. Thanks. So, it just shows that Roy is one of those old school minded women, stick to their kind of what women are supposed to stick to, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, woman. All that stuff. You know, Roy's that kind of guy, and Jim is not. And I love that in the background while this whole thing is happening, you see Kevin kind of like dabbing himself, and he's just watching it. Then it's like in a blurred state, so it acts to the effect. And then when it switches over, you see him like he was so happy it didn't go because he told Jim he would help him if they got into a brawl or whatever. Then we have dumbass Dwight, you know, doing all this random shit. There was a cool, funny moment with her where they're all speaking, and she was like, my name is. Like she was remembering, like she was doing it like it was an AA meeting, and she says here that her goal in 5 years is to be 5 years sober, which then changes to 4.5 years sober. Um. Oh yeah, and then what was Kaylee? What's Mindy Collins' character's name in this? Is it Kaylee? Katie's. She was like, I don't want to be one of those soccer moms that has a minivan. No, I want a 3-row SUV. Like, and then it pans to her saying like that the level of what women want in like the workplace is just so weird because they should want more, but you know some of these women are okay with just being where they are, or have these weird goals, or not weird goals, but just a goal that's the old school stereotype of the goal, you know, soccer mom, or the husband brings home the bacon kind of thing. And Jan's kind of looking to see where the next, you know, woman that's going to be part of corporate is, you know what I mean? Then we get over to these guys are, what's happening here? Oh, it's Dwight, right? This is Dwight being Dwight. And then Michael decides to grab this forklift and like, and just knock it all. Like, why, Michael? And then Michael, don't worry, we'll get somebody to pick that up. And then Daryl's like, we are the ones that have to pick it up. Like, oh, Michael. Oh, Michael. Then randomly, Michael's rocking. They called him Hasselhoff, you know, the Simon Cowell V. Like, but why? Like, but why, Michael? I don't get it. Then we have this situation. Then Pam talks about her dream about the terrace and how she read it as a child. Then she also speaks about when that she loves to draw and be creative, and she would love to do something in that field. And then Jan gives her something about like corporate web design seminar or something. And Jan at first is kind of like reluctant to it. She talks to Jim later, and Jim kind of says, "Oh my God, it's cool. You should do it." Very supportive. Then we have Michael trying to be one of the boys, you know, talking about, oh, I'm one of you guys. I'm just like you guys. You know what I mean? We're hardworking. Then they point out the very realistic thing about, no, we work just as hard as you. Actually, we work harder than you. Yeah, you make way more money. And we can't do anything that you can do. You can do so much more than us because of the money you get compared to us. It all stems from them essentially bashing women, which kind of seems like to be the only thing that they all kind of rallied around. Besides, like not rallied, but like Michael with the warehouse guys. With the warehouse guys are very stereotype. Just the way that in the way that they act and the way that they do things. So we'll see if that ever changes. But yeah, Jim's kind of there. He finds it awkward because he hears Roy talking about I don't like shit talking Pam and the whole dating aspect and all that, and very very weird. But then Daryl brings up um or that's later. We then get this whole thing. What's happening here? Oh yeah, the girl talk. She likes girl talk. The girl talk stems into speaking about Jan. Oh no, not yet. It's gonna do it in a minute. This goes into the whole Angela. Oh, I'm in the healthiest relationship of my life, and you have this very awkward moment with Dwight and her, and she says, "Dress for the Jan says, dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have," and she's like, and then Angela says, "Dress." Jan seems to be dressing for the job of whore, being a whore. This is when they bring up the union, money, all this stuff. Michael's like, "Oh no, what did I do? What did I do now?" I like how he walks up to him. He's like, "Are you with us?" And Michael's like, "Yeah, I'm with you." He's like so shitting himself. Then he has to walk up here, talks to Jan, speaks to her about what's going down there, and they're like, "You got yourself into this, get yourself out." And then Michael keeps bringing up the relationship. Will we have something? All this weird stuff. Very awkward. Pam's laughing. It's a moment between Stanley. Stanley is the guy that does just enough to get by. He's like, I am not busting my ass here. I am doing just enough not to get fired. Because the attempt is all like, well, we could get this really easy if we faster. And he's like, hey, this is, what did he actually say? He said something here.
Type of assembly line.
This here is a run out the clock situation.
A run out the clock situation. Oh my God, I need to use that. Like, oh, this is a run out the clock situation. All right, just like upstairs. Then Mindy Kaling says something about second base with Michael, and this is the moment with Pam and Jim, where Jim's very supportive of what she wants to do. And then you have Michael. What is this? Like,
Coming into the warehouse. Uh-oh.
Like,
Better
why?
put on your ski boots.
Like, why? Like, I just need to know why. I don't understand the why. Like, I don't get it. Like, does he not contemplate what's gonna happen? Like, who has to pick that up? You moron. They all talk. They all keep bringing up the Jan situation about her and Michael. Wait, Angela says like a quip here. What does she say here?
On personal stuff.
I think we're all okay with the balance we've struck.
At least you don't have kids. You have no kids, right? Thank God.
Thank God. Okay, yeah, that's what she says. Then we have this whole thing with Michael. She says the union, you'll all be fired, which is all very true. Corporate stuff is very, you bring up a union, they'll eliminate what they have to eliminate. Then we have probably one of the more realistic moments where Pam, excited, and when she's excited, she brings up, you know, the whole graphic design thing. She's training and how cool it'd be for her, and you could just see how Roy is just crushing her dreams, and messed up, man. Messed up. Then you see Jim walking in here, and Jim just knows from her demeanor. She's like, "You're not gonna do it," and you know she's giving her bullshit thing. Oh, you know, reasons, and we all know the reason. I mean, and Jim knows the reason because he knows how Roy is and this whole thing. And I like what he says here. What is he tells her here or something, and I think it turns into something really good.
Do you want to be a receptionist here always?
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm fine with my choices.
You are?
Yeah. It's impractical.
And then she starts to cry, and your heart has to like break a little bit.
Try to get a house like that.
Like this breaks your
We
heart
don't even make houses like that in Scranton.
because you know so many
So,
people
I'm
in
never
real
gonna-
life that just kind of accept what their life is, even though they're not happy, which then leads you into a route of depression and like a route of just not being happy with your life, and it's just sad. This is probably to me the best story that was happening. All of the like other stuff was whatever. I mean, it was fine. It was all good, but like this is what to me made the episode on the verge of an 8 to me. It's a 7, but it's on the verge of an 8 because of the Pam Rio stuff with the gym and the Roy stuff. Very much liked all that. Then Michael, I again with the like, oh, this is so sad. Like, what is happening here?
I'm just gonna put this over there.
Why? I don't even understand. Then the warehouse guys are trying to like not yell, but and you can tell this was tied up by Michael. Like what? Or maybe this was tied up by one of the warehouse guys. It's like, you know what? We can't let him get to more of these. Then the pizza, the random shit. Darrell says, "This ain't over, Michael." Then he says, Michael says, "You need women and men in the workplace because you need that sexual tension." And then we end on what I thought is a very good moment. Not that, I mean, we end on that, but that's stupid. We end on this, which is Pam picking up the phone, Jim looking at her, kind of knowing like this is your life, and we all know you don't love this life. And then her looking at Jim, kind of realizing, you know what, you're right. And then we end with this guy just very upset looking at Dwight making an even bigger mess. And that's the episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. Head over to Patreon if you want the full uncut, unedited reaction. If you're watching this, just know episodes get blocked. I've tried to do a bunch of stuff to make them not get blocked. They get blocked. I can't do nothing about it anymore. So just know that if you got to this point, then, you know, if any episodes you don't see on here get blocked, that's why. But nonetheless, like, comment, subscribe, head over to Patreon, or if you want the full reaction, uncut, unedited, episodes early, all that stuff, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.